So the Avengers, not to be confused with the Marvel stuff. It was a TV show that was in the UK and it aired from 1961 through to 1969. It later got kind of reinvented slightly in the mid-70s with the New Avengers, but the actual main show itself had a few different, evolutionary phases through it, really. It started out with two guys, Ian Hendry and Patrick McNee. Then later on, Honor Blackman joined the series, and then she was replaced by Diana Rigg and then Linda Thorson. I say replaced, these were all new characters that were introduced. For example, Honor Blackman went on to appear in Goldfinger, and obviously that was something that was quite big for her career going forward, so she was out of it and Diana Rigg came into it. And you tend to find with this show there are a lot of connections to the James Bond franchise as well in terms of the talent that was behind it. So it's quite a nice thing to get into if you haven't already. I definitely recommend it. But today I'm going to be talking about the box set, the DVD box set that came out a few years ago. I think it was around about 2011 when it first came out, and it got a re-release again in 2021 from memory. There's a few different editions to this that you can collect. Originally, I was collecting the show on videotape back in the late 90s when the 1998 movie came out. Don't really want to mention that here, but yeah, let's get into all this anyway. So here we are in the Brondex Reviews video room, and today I'm going to be talking about the Avengers, not the Marvel Avengers, but the TV series, the British spy-fi series, as some call that genre, from the 1960s and into the 70s, starring Patrick McNee and a few other actors and actresses as well. But Patrick McNee was the main guy that was in it from start to finish. So I'm going to be talking about the VHS box set today, but let's just have a quick look at some of the other collections of this on home video, just briefly. So my collection at the moment, beyond the box set I'm going to be talking about here, I would recommend these sets. You've got the Diana Rigg episodes, you've got the Linda Thorson ones, and you've got the New Avengers. Obviously, there were some black and white ones with Diana Rigg, and then they went into colour, and then Linda Thorson took over, and then it went off the air for a few years. They brought it back a few years later in the mid to late 70s with the New Avengers. There's also a movie as well, if you want to go down that rabbit hole. It's not in any way canonical, but I have it in my collection regardless. Happy memories of that coming out of the cinema, even though it was pretty bad. There is a Blu-ray that you can get as well, the Cybernauts trilogy. That's something else. I might talk about that some other time. And on this channel, I have spoken about this lost episode, Tunnel of Fear, that turned up a few years ago, that then got a DVD release, which is very nice to see that get released. But what I'm going to be talking about today is none of these. It's this box set here, the 50th anniversary collection, as I say. So let's get the thing out and have a look at it. So it's quite a beast of a box set, this, to be honest. It's quite heavy. It comes in this very nice book-style thing. If you've got the 50th anniversary collection of the James Bond movies, the Blu-ray that came out about 10 years ago, similar kind of box set to that as well. So I'll just have a look at it. Obviously, this is from the outside. I've had this for a few years. This spine here, it's like a book, as you can see. It's kind of deteriorated a little bit, despite me having kind of kept it in good condition. But you can see how the thing's laid out there. Studio Canal. And let's have a look on the back. So that's the reverse of the thing, and I'll just read this this thing here. So, sexier than Doctor Who, wittier than The Prisoner, classier than The Saint. Kim Newman over at Empire magazine. Released in a special limited edition 39 disc, including exclusive bonus disc, collector's package, and fully digitally restored. The Avengers 50th Anniversary Complete Collection celebrates the original cult TV show by bringing together all 6 series, 139 episodes and over 30 hours of extra features of the classic British Agent series, featuring Patrick McNee as the indomitable spy, John Steed alongside his glamorous sidekicks Kathy Gale, played by Honor Blackman, and Emma Peel, played by Diana Rigg, and Tara King, played by Linda Thorson, in extraordinary mystery-solving adventures and criminal-defeating escapades. Combined episode running time 6,913 minutes. Jesus. The show did run for quite a long time. You do get a lot with this. So those are the details there anyway. Very nice box set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this band off first. So that just slides off like that, and what you're left with is this book format, which I will now open. Now, this doesn't include the new Avengers series. This is only the original series, the Avengers. I think there was some different rights with regards to that. That's why it kind of comes out in a different set. So very nice. It doesn't really do justice filming this thing. When you actually look at the thing, the resolution of the images is very, very nice looking at this. So they really did seem to take a lot of pride in this when they brought it out. Now, I think I can I can rest that like that without damaging the spine or anything. Looks like that's what I'm doing there, but that was already like that. So what it does is it tells you the details of the photographs, just for a bit of context as well. It tells you what episodes they're from. The way that the discs are put into this, it's not the best because it's a bit tight trying to get them out, and you have to really squeeze the thing there. You have to get your finger right under it as well. All jokes aside, and really have to pull it out, which isn't great because you're obviously risking scuffing the thing, leaving dirty fingerprints on there. Wedging them back in as well can be a bit tricky because you really have to kind of pop it in, and it really does kind of like fire back in there, and it's like, am I going to do damage to these discs by doing this? It's not the best box set in that sense. It's kind of more for appearance rather than practicality. But whatever. I mean, the discs haven't ever been damaged over time, from what I can tell. So what I'll do is I'm just going to rest this way, actually, because I think it will damage the spine if I lay it out that way with all the pages. So for this set, this is relevant to me. Obviously, I'm a collector, so it's nice to have this anyway. As I was saying, I do have all of the Blu-rays of the Diana Rigg and Linda Thorson episodes, which are also included in this as well. This has the Honor Blackman, Kathy Gale episodes, and it has the Ian Hendry episodes as well, which aren't on Blu-ray. I think the reason for that is these episodes were kept and converted onto videotape back in the day, whereas the Diana Rigg ones onwards were done on film, from what I understand. So they were able to arrange to do decent remasters of those that can justifiably put onto Blu-ray in full HD. We can't justifiably do that for the Honor Blackman ones because the data for that doesn't exist. They were they were kept on videotape. So DVD is pretty much as good as you can get. I mean, you could slap that on a Blu-ray disc, but it would be a complete waste because you would still have the same quality on there. Unless some new technology comes along that tidies them up, I can't see how that would happen because it would be very artificial if they did that. I kind of go off on a bit of a side tangent there, maybe, but it's all relevant because, I mean, to me, like I say, this is why I have this box set and why it's not just nice from a collector's point of view, but it serves a purpose as well because you've got the Kathy Gale episodes as well on DVD. So, anyway, obviously I was kind of showing you some artwork there. It tells you what these are from, the episodes. Let's move on. And again, each one corresponds to the disc that is held within there. So, yeah. Obviously, this is a bit, not misleading, not like in a malevolent way, but it's showing the photographs in colour. These episodes are not in colour. These are just photographs. These aren't actually what you get in the episodes. There were no colour episodes of those ones. So it's nice to have. And that's quite a famous photograph. They did an episode, I recall, where there's some biker gang type thing going on in that. And I seem to remember reading that they were doing some publicity photographs at the time, and this is one of the more famous ones that you might have seen before of Honor Blackman and Patrick McNee. I know some people that they think that the Honor Blackman episodes were the best of the series. They think that was absolutely, you know, as the high point of the series, which I can understand. I mean, my admiration really kind of with this is more for the Diana Rigg ones. I think I'm probably in the majority there, but I can understand the appeal of the Honor Blackman ones. The early Diana Rigg ones, as we're getting into now, were in black and white. They had a kind of what some have referred to as like a neo-noir genre vibe to them, and you definitely get that impression watching these. It was kind of the end of an era in some ways. But obviously, when they colorized them, it kind of changed the vibe of the show a little bit, while still being loyal to what came before. A bit like what they do with James Bond, basically, every time they recast. But I think when they did colorize them, the show did change quite a bit, and I would say for the better. But I do love the old black and white ones as well. And then obviously Tara King, played by Linda Thorson, who was great. She came into it after Diana Rigg left. She left some pretty big shoes to fill, but yeah, Linda Thorson did a very good job as well. She was very well liked as well. She was good alongside John Steed as well, even despite the quite massive age difference at this point. There was still an interesting sort of sexual tension between the two of them in a way. It's kind of unspoken maybe, but yeah, there you go. So all those are on there. Now with this, you do get some very nice extra little bits as well. As an extras disc, obviously. Some extra artwork there as well. Don't need the receipt. There's an exclusive DVD booklet. There is a book. It's called the Avengers: A Celebration. That came out a few years ago, and this is kind of like an advertisement for that. I do have that book. It's worth getting if you're a collector of this series, and you haven't got that book. Seriously, I would get it. It's very nice. Yeah, I don't actually own that one. Yeah, it'd be something I should probably look into. But yeah, this book here is very nice. There's this Diana reprint magazine as well. It's like an old magazine. Can't quite remember the context of it, but it's obviously it's like a comic book. So that's a reproduction of that, like a miniaturized reproduction. Oh yeah, a bit more artwork there as well. And then the episode guide booklet, which comes with the thing. And you can have a look at the extra features here as well. I was going to kind of go through this, but there's so much stuff that you get with this. I'm going to try to get this in focus. If you maybe want to pause this and have a look at any of the extra features, you can maybe do that here. And then there's more. That's only half of it. And there's all this stuff as well. It tells you what you get on each disc and all the extra features. It labels them in quite some detail as well. So there's a hell of a lot of stuff that you get with this. So you get your money's worth. Anyway, like I say, I was showing what was available. If you look on Amazon, they're currently selling this box set for about £220, I think. Very unnecessary. You can get it much cheaper than that, whether second-hand or not. Plus, you don't have to get this box set. There is a different one that comes in a different case. It's not in a box. It's in a more traditional Blu-ray box set case that you can get, and it's the similar sort of layout of this, but it's just not in the book format. So you get the discs, and in fact, to be honest, it might even be in a safer way than holding your discs, because this one's a little bit of a faff to get the discs out. They really are tightly packed in there, so that's not the best way of doing it anyway. So I will leave it there. I think I've done a couple of videos talking about the Avengers before on this channel. I seem to recall I was talking about the Tunnel of Fear episode that was lost. In fact, I'll just get that out 1 second. This is it. I did a video about this a few years ago. This episode isn't included in this set because this was discovered. It was a lost episode that was discovered after this came out. I don't think they've ever re-released this to include this, so you would have to buy this separately. It's not expensive, it's not difficult to get hold of, and I have done a video talking about this on the channel. I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, yeah, 5 years ago, I think when I did it. It was early 2018 from memory. So don't forget, if you are going to buy these episodes, to get this. As I say, I was just talking about that DVD box set there. I highly recommend getting the Blu-rays. They are quite expensive. I think they were about £50 each when I bought them. So when you start to add it up, it does add up. But they're worth getting because the quality of these are amazing. For something that we're used to having watched back on VHS back in the day, the quality of these really is impressive. So definitely recommend getting these as well if you can. Purpose of my video here today was just to talk about the DVD box set, but I don't want to miss mentioning that the Blu-rays are available. Obviously not the Honor Blackman ones and the Ian Hendry ones. The new Avengers isn't available on Blu-ray as far as I'm aware as well. So that's something separate that I might talk about in a future video. So I will leave it there. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Brand X Reviews. You can like the video, you can subscribe to the channel, you can check out our Avengers playlist in our playlist section. We've got some of our own videos and a load of other videos that I found online that I've added. So if you want to get into this, reacquaint yourself with it or familiarise yourself with it for the first time, you might never have actually seen this show, definitely check that playlist out because there's plenty in there. Thank you very much for watching.